what it's time for. It's time for talking shit. Yeah. We're gonna talk that shit. Talk that shit. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Talk That Shit, the Fucka News. And they don't want to spend the money, right? They don't want to spend the money on the trains. They don't want to spend the money on the schools. They don't want to spend the money on paying women fairly. They don't want to spend the money on training these cops to stop shooting these blacks squarely, right in the face. They don't want to use the money to run the criminal justice system. They want it to fall apart and not look at their part. They don't want to spend the money on nothing but themselves and those sons of bitches down on Wall Street. See? They don't want to use the money to pay the teachers. They don't want to make sure that the Social Security system doesn't collapse. They don't want to spend the money on the food stamps. They don't want to spend the money on the trains. There's a train burning right now down in Milwaukee, and they don't want to spend the money on the transportation. While they're planning on not spending the money with Amtrak, they're distorting all the facts about these accidents and the maintenance of the maintenance of the railroad system. And John Boehner gonna yell at a news reporter talking about, you dumb enough to ask that question? No, we care enough to ask that question, son of a bitch. You know, we care enough about our country to ask those questions. They don't want to spend the money on the schools. They don't want to spend the money on the food. They want to spend money on the bombs, see? They want to give the money to fucking Israel to imprison the people in Gaza, see? They don't want to spend the money on AIDS, see? They're mad at George Stephanopoulos because he gave $75,000 to try to help fight AIDS, but they don't say shit about the billions of dollars that the Koch brothers poured into the last presidential election, right? They don't want to deal with that. See, they don't want to deal with that. They want to market their ideology and then have some sort of sociological apology. They don't want to do it. You know, they don't want to do it. They don't want to spend the money on schools. They don't want to spend the money on the aviation system where the airplanes are flying, they're about to wreck every 2 seconds. They don't want to spend the money on the people. They don't want to spend the money on the community. They don't want to spend the money on reorganizing our infrastructure. They don't want to spend the money on any of that stuff, see? They want to send the fucking money to Wall Street and keep their partnership with the corporations, right? They want to make sure that Halliburton gets masturbated enough to help Dick Cheney do his stuff, right? They don't want to spend the money on the hospitals and the medical system. They don't want to spend the money on our medicine and our disability and the help that we need, see? They don't want to spend the money on that stuff. They want to pocket. They want to line their pockets, right? They want to spend the money on these goddamn elections. And I'm talking about both parties, you know? I'm talking about all of them, right? I'm yelling about all of them. They don't want to spend the money on the kids. They don't want to spend the money on the desperate immigration, the deportation and the collapse of all these people that need help. They don't want to spend the money on that, see? They want to keep sucking Wall Street scrotum. They don't want to spend the money, right? See? They don't want to spend the money, yeah? They don't want to spend the money on the schools. These kids can't even go to the bathroom when they go to these schools. They don't want to spend the money on food stamps. They don't want to feed nobody, right? They don't want to spend the money on the homeless, right? They don't want to give the money to the fucking veterans. They don't want to spend the money on their care and health that they need after they blow them up and rip them apart and fuck their lives up and their families, see? They don't want to spend the money on that, right? They want to give the fucking money to Wall Street, see? They want to send it down there, right? They want to give it all to Wall Street, right? They want to give it all to Chase, right? They want to do that with it, right? They want to spend the money on the people, right? They want to keep the structure of their bullshit afloat. And they got us all by our throat. The common man, you know, the common life, you know, not just the middle class, But the people that are really on their ass, right, they don't want to spend the money on helping people. They don't. They want to further enhance their already self-obsessive nature, right? They don't want to spend the money on the water and dealing with climate change. They don't want to spend the money on that, right? They want to spend the money on fucking Wall Street. They're headed straight to Wall Street with the profits, right? All those banks gave them all that money, and they're just tucking it in and spending it on Wall Street again. They haven't done shit to reorganize that situation down there. Not a thing. Not a thing. See? They don't want to spend the money on that. You know? And that's who Rihanna and Tittle and Jay-Z and Kanye West need to be running around protesting that mess. See? They don't want to spend the money on that, right? They don't want to prosecute these cops that when they kill these people in cold blood, you know? They don't want to spend the money on that. See? No! 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 The GOP, the Grand Old Opposition Party, you know, and they make all the liberals tardy when it comes to what really keeps our country hardy and healthy and ready. You know, they don't want to spend the money on that. You know, it's ridiculous. And the only people that support this kind of ideology is the people who pull from it, Rupert Murdoch, and they pull from this kind of energy. They pull from it, and they present bullshit. And they expect us to buy into it all the fucking time. And it's disgusting. And we can't stand it. So we run and we hide, you know. And I say it's time to stand up. It's time to put it together, right? It's time to vote these fuckers out. Throw them out. Throw them out. Throw them out. Get rid of these fuckers. Fire them, you know. And say fuck Fox News. Thank you so much.